So what we've got is sides which are hinged so that the top and bottom can fold up for transport if we want it to, and then fold out and are supported by the sides to form a box like so. And then inside I've just got a bathroom extractor fan in the back with a bit of wood over the top just to protect it a bit from direct spray, and that's got a pull cord on it so that I can activate that. And then we've got a variety of hooks that I've kind of just obtained from here and there to hang stuff from inside the actual booth itself. And then in the back I've got some ducting coming out from the fan, and the idea is that'll feed out the door to take away the fumes. So in the actual box itself I've got the Arism Mini Air Compressor. I could potentially, I suppose, have just used a regular compressor, but it's a bit bulky, and because I haven't got anywhere to store one, I have to steal my neighbour's one, which, you know, it's not ideal. So in there we've got, and it is quite diddy, it's quite cool. I've got the actual compressor itself. Different to the 150 litre compressor that I was using for my car. There we go. That's pretty dinky actually. That's a nice little unit, very portable. You've got a variable, I presume that's the pressure on there, and your outlet for your pump, for your cable either to go there, and it comes complete with the cable as well. A decent length of cable. I'm not going to take that out just now. Cable is cable with screw fits. I don't know if you can get quick fit attachments with these, push fit attachments. Maybe we'll look into that when it comes with a big compressor. And it's got a set of instructions. So that's this. This is the Arism Mini Compressor. Okay. Pop him back in there. And what's in the box? Got a few bits of masking tape that I ordered at the same time. Just the cost of delivery down to get everything at once. Some filters, quite a lot of filters actually. That's got to last with quite a lot of spring. And the main event is my airbrush itself. So we'll look see this colour. So this is the Iwata, I don't know how you pronounce that, but something like that. The Iwata Neo. Iwata is one of the spray guns that I've got, is an Iwata, and it's a really good spray gun. I've not had any problems with it at all, so that was why I went for this particular brand. And there is your spray gun. You've got the world's smallest spanner, and you've got your gun itself, which I can't actually get out. Probably not the way to do it, but never mind. There we go. And that's the gun itself. Got a fairly, these tapes I'm getting used to compared to what I'm used to using, a fairly small paint holding thingy-doodly there, and then you've got an even smaller one that you could use as well if you were doing really small detailed stuff with very small amounts of paint. Wow, that is tiny. Iwata Nero. Quick start guide. Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward by the looks of it. We've got actually a decent amount in English. And also with that, because it's such a small bowl, I've actually got some quite large models to do. I brought a load of pots as well to keep paint in, so I could keep on topping up the bowl as we go. And it's just useful. If you're making up some paint, you can make up a decent volume and keep it in those. So how does it work? Well, I guess you're just going to have to follow one of my other videos when I actually get around to painting something. The Land Rover I'm going to do with automotive paint because it's metal. You know, it's the same material as a car. So I'm going to do it with automotive paint. The difficulty that I've got is I cannot get the correct shade of genuine Land Rover paint for that particular vehicle, the 1950 Land Rover, in Guernsey where I live, and nobody will ship it from the UK because of the difficulties of shipping, because Condor won't ship paints. So it's going to be a little while, unfortunately, until I can actually paint that, which is quite frustrating. But I have got my tank, which I would like to paint up, so that's probably actually going to be my first project. I can do the chassis of the, no I can't, I can do the axles of the Land Rover because they're black, so I can just get a rattle can of that from the local motor factors, the matte black. But the chassis is supposed to be body coloured, and then there's the body as well, of course, so all of that is going to be delayed by simply not being able to get the paint in Guernsey. So that's kind of frustrating. But hopefully next time I'm over in the UK I'll be able to get that sorted out, get the paint and get painting with that. So that's my spray kit complete really. That's about £200 worth, just over £200 worth from Spray Guns Direct, and it looks nice. Iwata is a good, as I say, is a good brand, so I've got every confidence that that's going to be a good brush. Sprays down to, I think it was 0.5 millimetre or less than 0.5 millimetre, so perfectly adequate for what I need. In fact, I can't remember what its biggest spray size is, but it's not massive, so I was actually wondering if it was going to be enough. But yeah, we'll see how we go. And I've got my little compressor. It's got 12 to 14 litres per minute, which is 0.42 to 0.49 CFM compared to my big compressor, which is 12 CFM, so 24 times as much, thereabouts. Pressure is adjustable, maximum pressure is 45 psi, weighs 2.5 kilos, and yeah, that looks like a nice little unit actually, nice and compact, and it won't take up too much space, which is what I needed. So happy with that at the moment. See how it sprays. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more updates and see how it actually performs in real life. Thank you. So in terms of function, let's have a look at this airbrush. I've never used an airbrush until I got this. So I've done a couple of bits with it so far. It's worked pretty well. Initially I found the mix of paint was too thin. I'd done 2-to-1 paint to thinners, and that was a wee bit too much. So I didn't get particularly good coverage with the paint. But I've now moved to a sort of a 3-to-2 kind of a ratio, which seems to work much better. So we've got my little spray booth here that I've made up, which vents to the outside through a fan at the back there. Okay, switch the compressor on, it'll work better. There we go. We'll practice spray first on the side of the booth, make sure the shape looks alright. So I painted this dark grey because it came as a desert colour, and although the type tank I'm building is desert colour, because this was already a light colour and the tank was dark, the yellow has actually come out a little bit too light. I'm going to spray this on so that hopefully the yellow will come out the same shade as the rest of the tank. Now, I've used spray guns before, but not spray brushes. one of the things that I found early on was that I was actually holding it too far away, like I would with a spray gun, and actually you hold it a lot closer with this. As I said, I think earlier, it's a dual action, so it's down for air, back for paint, so you can control reasonably well just how much is going through. And of course, as always, it's as little as you can get away with, really. If you want to get narrower lines, allegedly it's just a case of reducing the air pressure, getting closer, and just doing it up real close. I've got a bit too much pressure there, please go through that a minute. And try not to put on too much at once. There will be temptation, it is very tempting. Better to do thin coats than try and get it all done in one thick coat. Doesn't have to be perfect, this is purely to kind of prep the surface ready for the desert colour paint that's going to come on later. With the Land Rover that I'm building, that's a gloss automotive paint I was using, and that's a lot thicker, so that did have to be diluted down a wee bit more than these modelling paints, and I didn't get a fantastic finish with it, which I think is down to the air compressor not sort of vaporising the paint well enough. So it was a little bit bitty, I suppose. A little tiny, almost like bits of dust caught in it. What I found with the modelling paint, it goes on much better, probably because it's matte rather than gloss. I mean, you get away with a lot with matte. There we go. How much have I got left in there? Not a huge amount. So for brake, I just, also waiting for that coat to sort of go tacky, I just squirt some air through just to clear that off, and then we can do that. Some around there for some reason. In terms of cleaning, all I do is put thinners into the bowl, spray it through, and then have a little wipe around the bowl with thinners, put some more thinners in, spray it through again, and repeat basically until it's spraying clear. And the instruction says not to take the end tip off, but what I've found is you get paint clagging around the inside of there, just inside, and this piece comes off the very end as well. That little piece just there. So if you unscrew that, and then you can see there's a couple of bits of paint on there, so I just clean that off as well with the thinners, and get a bit of tissue inside to give it a really good wipe around. But you just have to be really, really careful that you don't do anything with the actual nozzle, which is very, very fine. So you'd have to be careful when you put it back on. You just got to be absolutely certain that it's in the right place, and then just screw it back into place and you're good to go for the second lot. So I'm going to let that just dry for a little bit and then I'll finish it off. But yeah, that's the spray gun. It seems to be working pretty well, to be honest. A lot better than a brush paint finish. So yeah, overall I'm quite pleased with that. So that's me with a review of this spray gun, which I can't remember the name of now. I've got a box around here somewhere. It's the Iwata. Can't remember which model now, something or other. But anyway, that's the one, and yeah, pretty pleased with it. It's all right.